So, hello. This is going to be a video that is going to be, for once, it's going to be less gaming and more DVD and Blu-rays, pertaining to Dragon Ball mainly. So let's get to it. So, I owned the orange boxes for many years, and I don't know, they were adequate for what they were in terms of like viewing Dragon Ball Z and stuff. But then obviously the Blu-rays started to release. Now originally they had the oh god, what were they called? They were like pixel perfect remasters, but there was only three box sets came out for them, and unfortunately, they didn't sell very well, and they were particularly expensive, and so they gave up on them, and they went along with these. So obviously I've had this one from I think they've got this in 14. Um, I mean, I've seen Dragon Ball numerous amount of times, but ironically, I never actually sat and watched it. I had the second season of it as well, and I sold it. No idea why I did. So yeah, so that I've had for years. Now these are the Region One Dragon Ball box sets of the original Dragon Ball show. Why do I have Region One when I live in the UK? Mainly because I used to use my PC and I had there's a little program we called DVD for free. It was a utility where basically it would bypass and you could change the region of the drive. Um, Now I had an external DVD drive that I've still got somewhere, and basically you could change the region of the drive up to about 5 times, and then it would lock permanently to that region for the rest of eternity. You could never change it again. So this little utility would just bypass the region on it, and that was alright back in say like 2005 up to about 2012. It didn't really bother me so much. I just load these up, and the American box sets on a lot of stuff just generally tend to be better anyway. But so these are region 1 and 4, 4:3 aspect ratio. So, and then obviously discs kind of started to become irrelevant. And I wasn't one that I didn't really embrace that for a long while. And then I looked around and thought, well, I can't be asked to get a DVD drive out just to play these DVDs. So what I did then, essentially, is I just rebought them again. But and again, I still think the Region One box sets look better. But funnily enough, the UK Region ones have they've got some of the movies on them, which I've never seen, like Curse of the Blood Rubies, which I've never even seen. So um, they are a little bit different in terms of the layout in comparison to say the Region 1 boxes. And the Region 1 boxes are actually quite expensive now, actually, in fact. Well, expensive. They're not as cheap as they were when I first got them. But as you can see, if I can ever get the bloody thing out, the differences are not really a lot in it, really, in the grand scheme of things. But obviously, you don't have the movies with with these ones, as far as I'm aware. I don't think it's got the movie with it. Remastered, restored, digital audio. No. So yeah, so I've got like the first three seasons of Region One. I've only got the first two of Region Two. So at some point I will probably get the rest. And obviously I'm also have been collecting Super. But that has just been announced that after is it Dragon Ball? Is it Diorama or whatever it's called? Dragon Ball Super will be coming back, which is fantastic. Obviously, it's been kind of a sad time for Dragon Ball fans. Obviously, the creator, and I'm not going to butcher his name, sadly passed away. So that was quite a sad time for Dragon Ball fans. So, yeah, but I mean, these were about 20 quid. I still prefer the US ones for the way they look. It was the same with a lot of these types of DVD box sets. I've got Hercules and Xena box sets, and they're Region 1, and they're excellent box sets. They're a bit banged up now. I've had them many years. But if I compare it to the UK ones, yeah, they're just a lot better. the UK region ones don't have any of the extras, interviews, cast commentaries, whereas the US ones, they're just chock full of extras. There's a good 3, 4, 5 hours of extras on most of the box sets, depending on the box set. So yeah, and the other thing I got was, obviously I was collecting Dragon Ball Z. Now this is the one I got in 14. I saw the second season, and recently I was in a hankering for Dragon Ball again. I have yet to watch them, but I was just sort of, I don't know why I sold the other one, but I just did. I don't know why, but obviously I'm going to be watching that again at some point in the future. And so I was like, well, I've got to go through Dragon Ball again, and then go for it all again, because it's one of those shows I've broken it. So obviously I've got the first season. I saw the second season, and they've reissued them. So I was like, well, why not? It's a little bit different. In fact, the box sets actually look better. They've got a better sort of art design. Obviously, they don't match up because they do look generally different. But yeah, and you got some. There's a poster. There's a few Dragon Ball cards as such. So I'm going to be probably collecting these again at some point to sit and watch. I have just finished watching the first season of, is it the Cape Crusader on Amazon? It's interesting. I wouldn't say it's terrible or amazing. I'm still unsure of what to think. I mean, they've changed the penguin's gender to a female, which is kind of weird, but I'm not necessarily against it. It's just kind of different, I guess. So that might be something really interesting, like little mini review on at some point, maybe. But yeah, basically, I just thought I'd just show these off. I mean, I've got some more game stuff to do, collectible bits and bobs and that, but I've got too many games at the moment. I just haven't had the time with work and everything. I've still yet to get around to playing Metroid Fusion, the Game Boy Advance game, and Metal Gear Solid Revengeance or Rising. So that's something to do for the channel at some point. I gotta get down and do something for the channel. I've just been a bit struggling of late, the lack of interest for content. And obviously Season 2 Dragon Ball. I remember Dragon Ball, and I have only watched it once, I think, being far more comedic and far less serious than Dragon Ball Z, which it is. So, yeah, so basically, I will be putting some content out. It's just, need some ideas. I've got a lot of games down there I could probably do some content on, particularly original Xbox and original PS2 games. So hopefully look forward to seeing some more content from the channel, and thanks for listening to me mumble.